In the sunny, bustling jungle lived a little fox named Felix. He was fast, he was clever, but oh, he was always in a hurry. Zip, zap, zoom. Felix believed that being first was the only thing that mattered. One bright morning, Felix decided he would be the first to reach the juiciest berry bush in the whole forest. "I'll be the fastest," he declared to no one in particular. He saw Ellie the elephant standing calmly by a path. "Out of my way, Ellie, I'm in a hurry," he shouted, zipping past her so quickly he spun a cloud of dust into the air. Ellie just blinked her big, gentle eyes, a look of concern on her face as Felix disappeared down the path. Felix sprinted along, his orange tail a blur. He saw Sammy the snail, moving ever so slowly on a large green leaf. "Too slow, Sammy. You'll never get anywhere like that," Felix chuckled, leaping right over him. He didn't notice the beautiful patterns on Sammy's shell or the sparkling dewdrops on the leaf. All he saw was the path ahead and the prize at the end. He was so focused on speed that he didn't see a big, tangled root sticking out of the ground. Wham! Felix tripped and went tumbling head over paws, landing in a clumsy heap. He shook his head, a little dizzy, but quickly scrambled back up. "No time to waste," he mumbled, brushing the dirt from his fur and dashing off again. He came to a small, sparkling pond. On the other side was a shortcut to the berry bush, but the only way across was a line of smooth, mossy stepping stones. Felix didn't pause to check them. He just took a running leap. "I'll be across in a flash," he thought. Splash! His paws slipped on the second stone, and he plunged into the cool water. He sputtered and coughed, paddling his way to the edge, dripping wet and very annoyed. He could see Holly the hedgehog, who was carefully testing each stone with her foot before crossing. She moved slowly and steadily, reaching the other side safely and dryly. Holly looked back at Felix with her kind eyes but didn't say a word. Felix shook the water from his fur, feeling grumpier than ever. "This is taking forever." He decided to abandon the path and cut through the thickest part of the forest. It must be faster, he convinced himself. He pushed through tangled vines and prickly bushes. Twigs caught in his fur and leaves stuck to his wet nose. He ran and ran, but the forest only seemed to get thicker. He thought he saw the berry bush just ahead and made a final, desperate dash. Thump! He ran right into a large tree trunk. "Woof!" he cried, sliding down to the ground. He sat there, his head spinning. He had a bump on his forehead. His fur was a mess, and he felt completely exhausted. He hadn't reached the berry bush, and he was lost. Just then, he heard a cheerful voice from above. "In a hurry to get nowhere, little fox." Felix looked up and saw Polly the parrot, perched on a branch, her feathers a rainbow of colors. "It's not working, Polly," Felix complained. "Try to be fast, but I just keep tripping and falling and getting lost." Polly flew down and landed on a branch closer to him. "That's because you're trying to win a race that doesn't exist, Felix," she said gently. "Look around you. The sun is warm, the flowers smell sweet, and the world is full of wonders. But you miss them all when you rush." Felix looked around. For the first time, he noticed the golden sunlight filtering through the leaves and the beautiful blue flowers growing near the tree. Polly continued, "Ellie the elephant is strong, but she waits patiently for others to pass. Sammy the snail is slow, but he always reaches his destination safely. Holly the hedgehog is cautious, but she never falls. They understand something you haven't learned yet. Patience." Felix thought about it. He remembered seeing Ellie's calm face and Holly's careful steps. "Patience?" he asked. "What's that?" Polly chirped. "Patience is like a seed. If you plant it and wait, it grows into a strong tree of success. Rushing is like a wildfire. It burns brightly for a moment, but leaves nothing behind. True success doesn't come from being the fastest, but from doing things well, with care and thought." Felix felt a change inside him. Maybe Polly was right. He had been so focused on being first that he had only caused himself trouble. "So, I should slow down?" he asked. "Exactly," said Polly. "Take a deep breath. Look where you're going. Think before you leap. Try again, but this time, try with patience." Polly then showed Felix the way back to the main path. He felt a bit silly, but also relieved. He walked slowly this time, his paws making soft sounds on the forest floor. He noticed the fuzzy caterpillars on leaves and the busy ants marching in a line. It was actually nice. Soon, he arrived back at the pond with the stepping stones. Holly the hedgehog was there, munching on a small berry. She smiled at him. This time, Felix didn't rush. He watched how Holly had placed her feet, took a deep breath, stepped carefully onto the first stone, made sure he was balanced, and then stepped onto the next. One stone at a time. Slowly, steadily, he made his way across the pond. When his paws touched the dry ground on the other side, he felt a huge wave of pride. He had done it. He hadn't fallen. Holly gave him a little nod of approval. He continued on his way, walking at a calm pace. Soon, came across Sammy the snail, who had almost reached the end of his leaf. "Hello, Sammy," Felix said softly, being careful not to startle him. Sammy looked up and gave him a slow, friendly wave of his antennae. A little further on, he saw Ellie the elephant, who was now enjoying a drink from a small spring. "Hello, Ellie," Felix said politely. Ellie turned and gave him a warm smile, raising her trunk in a friendly greeting. It felt good to be noticed and greeted back. Finally, just around the next bend, he saw it. The berry bush. It was covered in the most plump, juicy red berries he had ever seen. He walked up to it, his heart full of a quiet joy. He hadn't been the first one there. Polly the parrot was already there, along with Holly and Ellie. But it didn't matter. There were plenty of berries for everyone. He carefully picked a perfect berry and popped it into his mouth. 'Twas the sweetest, most delicious berry he had ever tasted. He smiled, a real happy smile. He turned to his friends. "Thank you," he said. "You were right. Rushing only got me into trouble. But when I slowed down and was patient, I finally got here. And the berries taste so much better this way." Ellie gently patted his head with her trunk. Holly gave him a little thumbs up. Polly landed on his shoulder. "See, Felix," she chirped. "Patience brings success and happiness." All the friends shared the delicious berries under the warm jungle sun. Felix learned a very important lesson that day. It's not always about how fast you go, but how carefully and patiently you travel on your journey. And sharing success with friends makes it the sweetest prize of all.